A new look at how one of the 20th century's most famous painters, Henri Matisse, worked and lived. Matisse in the studio at the Museum of Fine Arts is the first time his objects and artworks have been reunited on such a large scale. Arts editor Jared Bowen has more.
This is a glass vase Henri Matisse picked up during a trip to Spain. The French painter spent years living with it before it emerged on his canvas in one seaside still life and then another. Throughout his life, Matisse transported the objects that caught his eye in the real world into his painterly one.
He said that his objects were critically important to him, that they were a working library, that he was attached to them, and he also said that for him, the object is an actor.
Matisse's objects even charted the course of art history. He purchased this African sculpture on his way to meet his friend Picasso for dinner. It would help launch both men into a watershed moment, as each embarked on work heavily influenced by African art.
Picasso had certainly seen African art before, so what is the great impact there? I think it has more to do with an older artist whom he respects, who's incredibly articulate and talented, showing him this figurine that he had acquired and that he obviously values.
I like this piece a lot because her clothing almost seems like it's treated like a Cubist landscape.
Sophie Matisse is Henri Matisse's great-granddaughter and an artist herself. The show features a rare family portrait, one of just 4 self-portraits he ever painted.
I love this one because the real focal point are the eyes and the intensity in the eyes. And that seems to me like to be a deep, not confrontation, but just a deep look within.
But as photographs of Matisse and his studios show us, the artist never had to look far to compose his pictures. Many objects were stored in 2 carefully curated vitrines at his home in Nice, France. That's also where he displayed a Chinese panel that took an even more prominent place over his bed.
I think these were friends in a way. It's like a familiar language.
As Matisse aged, the objects edged their way into the forefront of how he worked, not to mention the work itself. He rendered solid bronze statues lusciously alive, and ornamental fabric served as the backdrop of both his real and conjured worlds.
Matisse is just so much better than you even think. I mean, that sounds kind of silly and naive, but it's just really an amazing experience.
Jared Bowen, WGBH News.
Matisse in the studio is on display at the Museum of Fine Arts through July 9th. You can find more information online at mfa.org.